So picture this. Brand new Superman movie, packed theater, fans in merch, popcorn in laps, vibes, sacred cinematic experience. I'm Lexi, and I'm not what you'd call a quiet moviegoer. I feel things, loudly, and I talk to the screen like it owes me money. But I promised myself, this time, chill. Respectful. No yelling, no narrating, no throwing Sour Patch Kids in moments of emotional distress. I show up alone, full treat-yourself energy, sneak in a hoodie pocket full of snacks. I'm talking full king size, Reese's, Twizzlers, wasabi peas. Don't ask. Lights dim, screen glows. I'm ready. The movie starts. It's giving drama. It's giving emotion. It's giving jawline. 20 minutes in, Superman lands in a cornfield, slow-motion cape, music swelling, and this older couple behind me literally gasps. I'm like, yes, cinema is alive! But then comes the twist. Like, the twist. A major, wait, that's not his enemy, that's his cousin kind of twist. And I, forgetting everything, volume control, social norms, the existence of strangers, screamed, "Oh my God, he's been related to him the whole time!" The entire theater stops, like dead silent, popcorn in midair, necks snapping around. Someone in the front turns and hisses, "Spoilers!" Another guy, full Superman t-shirt, cape included, goes, "I've waited 6 months for this!" I tried to melt into my seat like a maid of Twizzlers. The usher appears from the shadows, like Batman. He whispers, "Miss, we're gonna need you to chill or exit." I whisper back, "I was just shocked. I didn't know my voice would carry." He says, "It echoed through 3 theaters." I get moved to a seat in the far back corner next to a man eating tuna salad from Tupperware. A punishment, honestly. But here's the kicker. The guy in the cape catches me after the movie and says, "You were wrong, by the way. That wasn't his cousin. It was a clone." Okay, well, excuse me, science. Moral of the story. Never underestimate your lung power in Dolby Surround. Don't bring emotional baggage to superhero premieres, and if you're going to spoil something, at least be right. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever heard someone scream, "That's his cousin!" in the middle of an emotional Superman backstory, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what movie did you absolutely lose control during? Cried, cheered, spoiled, said something out loud and regretted it instantly? Let's suffer for cinema together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. You ever have one of those mornings where the universe just points at you and goes, "Let's see what happens if we completely unhinge this one"? Hi, I'm Lexi, and I am no longer allowed in 3 retail stores in downtown LA because of one innocent, misunderstood mannequin situation. So here's the scene. It's Tuesday. I'm tired. I'm walking to get coffee. I have earbuds in, listening to a podcast called Boundaries Are Sexy. I'm crossing the street, vibing, mindful, and I see this cute boutique. It has a mannequin outside wearing a trench coat I've emotionally bonded with. As I'm admiring it, I trip. Over a crack? A pebble? A ghost? Who knows? I lunge forward, full goblin stumble, and instinctively grab the first thing I see to stop myself, which happens to be the mannequin's arm. It snaps off, clean, like I'm in a Marvel movie and I just ripped off a robot limb. Now I'm standing there, in broad daylight, holding a mannequin arm like it's a baguette, mouth open, brain empty. The boutique alarm starts beeping, the door swings open, a woman in silk pants and rage in her eyes goes, "Ma'am!" I try to explain. "I tripped. I didn't mean to steal your limb." I try to put the arm back on. It won't fit. It spins, falls, lands on my foot. I yelp. The mannequin face plants. And then, as if that's not enough, a news crew across the street filming a small business feature turns their camera around and starts filming me. A reporter runs over, mic in hand. She goes, "Can you tell us what happened here today?" I say, "Ma'am, I don't know how to emotionally process any of this." She says, "Are you the suspect?" I say, "I'm just tired and holding someone's fake limb." And then I go viral. Someone posts a clip of me, winded, holding the mannequin arm like it's my emotional support weapon, captioned, "Downtown disaster or fashion freedom fighter?" My group chat explodes. Someone at work sends me a screenshot and goes, "Is this you?" And I say, no comment. Long story short, the boutique didn't press charges. They did, however, ask me never to touch their mannequins again. Moral of the story, always watch where you're walking. Mannequin arms are not load-bearing. And never wear a bold trench coat to a crime scene. It makes you too memorable. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever saw a confused woman on local TV holding a mannequin arm like a protest sign, that was me. Tell me in the comments, have you ever broken something in public and tried to pretend it didn't happen? Dish? Lamp? Entire wine aisle? Let's confess our clumsy crimes together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. So here's the thing. I didn't go into the bank to bank. I went in for candy. Hi, I'm Lexi. And this is the story of how my sweet tooth caused a near federal incident. So my friend Tori tells me, "Hey, the bank near you gives out those old school green lollipops, the ones that slap." I'm like, say no more. I walk in, cute little branch, quiet, peaceful, 2 tellers, 1 security guard with a mustache that says, "I've seen things." I make a beeline for the counter. There's the bowl, shiny, glorious, but nearly empty. 1 lone green lollipop left, hiding at the bottom. I reach in, but my arm's too short, and I refuse to accept defeat. So I do what any candy-crazed adult woman in heels would do. I lean over, just a little, then a little more. And that's when it happens. My elbow hits the top of the counter, right on the emergency alarm button. It clicks, and suddenly, sirens. Loudspeaker voice, "Security has been alerted. Please remain calm." Lights flashing. I freeze, still halfway over the counter, lollipop in hand, heart rate, tap dancing. The teller screams, "Ma'am, step back." I'm like, "It was an accident. I just wanted the green one." Security guy sprints over, hand on his hip like he's about to draw a laser cannon. He yells, "What happened?" I whisper, "I panicked for candy." He blinks, looks at the bowl, then at me, then at the lollipop of chaos still clutched in my hand like it's evidence. Meanwhile, the other customers are just staring. One man slowly slides his deposit slip back into his bag like, "Not today." They have to call to cancel the police response. I have to fill out a panic button incident form. Yes, that's a real thing. The teller hands me a clipboard and says, "Please describe what led to your decision." I write, "Pursuit of watermelon flavor," and hand it back. They let me go, no charges, but I'm now known in that branch as Miss Lollipop Situation. Moral of the story? Candy is dangerous. Panic buttons should have warning labels. And if you want the green one, bring longer arms or stronger boundaries. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever heard siren blaring because someone got too excited about a free lollipop, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what innocent thing have you done that caused total chaos? Wrong door, wrong button, wrong moment? Let's unwrap our regrets together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. Listen, I love a gala. Free snacks, weird art, questionable rich people energy. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I turned a Renaissance exhibit into a live-action battlefield. So my friend Naya invites me to this exclusive art museum fundraiser. She says, just wear black, act helpful, and you'll blend in. Plus, open bar. Say less. I show up in heels I can barely walk in and a blazer that says, cultured but with cleavage. They give me a name tag and a clipboard like I'm part of the staff, and they say, you're stationed by the medieval wing. Just stand there. Smile. Easy. Now, the medieval wing is all swords, helmets, and one big shiny suit of armor on a pedestal. It's massive. Looks like it could still fight dragons. Balanced precariously, like it's one sneeze away from collapse. I'm standing near it, bored, sipping sparkling water from a plastic flute, when a waiter walks by with a tray of mini lobster empanas. Obviously, I reach. As I twist to grab one, my arm clips the velvet rope around the armor display. And then I hear it, that dreaded sound. Clunk. I turn. The knight is leaning. Full metal suit, slowly tipping like a domino in slow motion. And who's directly in its path? A very rich-looking man in a velvet jacket, holding shrimp cocktail, talking to the museum chairman like he just funded the Louvre. He looks up, sees the knight falling, yells, "Oh my God!" But it's too late. Boom! Armor lands on his legs, shrimp goes flying, glass shatters, everyone gasps, someone screams, the chairman yells, "Julian!" I yell, "It was an accident! I barely brushed it!" Security rushes in like I just robbed the crown jewels. I back away holding a tiny empana like it's a white flag. They help Julian up. He's fine, just dramatically injured in the ego. I try to fix the armor, which is now in 6 metallic pieces. A curator shrieks, "That was from 1387!" I whisper, "So, not replaceable?" I get escorted out. Not arrested, but definitely blacklisted. The museum sends me a polite but firm email the next day that ends with, "We appreciate your enthusiasm, but no." Moral of the story? Never eat and lean at the same time. Ancient armor has no chill, and shrimp cocktails are not aerodynamic. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman ducking behind a statue while medieval metal chaos unfolded at an art gala, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the worst thing you've broken in public? TVs, wedding centerpieces, emotional boundaries? Let's curate our shame together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. Okay, before you judge me, let me just say, all cars look the same when you're hungry. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I Ubered myself directly into a stranger's passenger seat and confidently acted like I lived there. So, it's Sunday, I'm brunch-bound, running late, obviously, wearing sunglasses bigger than my forehead and a dress that says I'm fun, but also I eat pancakes like it's a sport. I call an Uber. It says, gray Toyota Camry, 3 minutes away. Perfect. I wait outside the cafe. A gray Camry pulls up. The driver looks at me. I look at him. He gives a little nod. So I open the door and go, "Hey, Lexi for brunch, let's ride," and hop in. He just kind of smiles, silent, turns on the engine. Soft jazz starts playing. I'm like, "Ooh, classy. You always set the mood with a little Miles Davis?" He nods, still silent. I'm scrolling my phone, talking about how Eggs Benedict is the Beyoncé of brunch items, when I realize the Uber app hasn't started. I squint. The screen still says, "Waiting for driver." I look at the car. No little Uber sticker. No phone mount. No directions. I look at the driver and go, did you start the trip?" He goes, "Trip?" I go, "Yeah, Lexi." He goes, No, I thought you were my niece's friend. You said brunch. I figured you were part of the group. I stare at him, mouth open, still holding my iced coffee like it's a flotation device. I go, so this isn't an Uber? He goes, no, I'm going to my warehouse to pick up some chairs. And then he turns into a wholesale furniture parking lot. I panic, internally. Externally, I smile and say, haha, that's hilarious, what a mix-up, while texting my real Uber driver, please wait, I'm in a stranger's Camry. We both sit in silence for a beat, just me, him, and Jazz. Then he says, wanna see the chairs? I say, I feel like I already have. I get out. I wave. He waves back, like this is normal. I walked 2 blocks back to the cafe. Real Uber driver is there, judging me. I say nothing. I just get in. Quiet. Humbled. With the musical ghost of soft jazz in my soul. Moral of the story? Always check the license plate. Never assume a smile means you're in the right car. And if you end up at a furniture warehouse, say no to the chair tour. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman hopping out of a Camry in a brunch dress in a parking lot full of sofas, that was me. Tell me in the comments, have you ever gotten in the wrong car, wrong house, wrong anything? Let's share our mistaken identity moments, babe. Love you. Mean it. Lexi out. Okay, so here's what happened. I was feeling artsy, like get paint on your hands, drink wines, say things like, this brush speaks to me, kind of artsy. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I fully committed to a children's art class because I didn't want to admit I was in the wrong place. So, I'm scrolling, and I see this ad. Paint and sip night, $12, supplies included. And I'm like, yes, affordable, check. Creative outlet, check. Sip, yes, please. I put on my most boho off-the-shoulder top, put my hair in a messy bun that took 45 minutes to make messy, grab my favorite lipstick, and manifest wine and watercolor realness. I show up to the address. It's a cute little community center. There's a line of people going in, but they're all small. Like, very small. Like, preschool-sized. I'm confused, but I think maybe it's one of those hip family-friendly events with cool parents and cool kids. Ignore this logic. It's non-existent. I walk in. The woman at the front hands me a name tag and a juice box. I say, oh, is this non-alcoholic? She goes, it's apple. Most of the kids love it. I laugh politely like, yes, the kids. So fun. And then I look around. Tiny easels, plastic chairs, a giant cartoon bunny cutout on the wall with the words, let's get crafty critters. I'm in too deep. Miss Carly, the leader, claps her hands and says, okay, friends, today we're painting our feelings as animals. All the toddlers yell, yay! I sit, cramped into a blue plastic chair built for knees. A kid next to me immediately tells me I smell like his mom's shampoo. Miss Carly passes out glitter glue, puffballs, and paint in 4 colors: red, yellow, blue, and cloud white. I ask for a glass of wine. She hands me another juice box, strawberry banana. Honestly, not bad. I commit. I paint a giraffe with glitter tears and name it Existential Kevin. One mom thanks me for being so hands-on with her kid. I panic and go, he's very advanced with pipe cleaners. By the end, I've made a popsicle stick puppet, spilled glitter on my jeans, and gotten a friendship bracelet from a girl named Olive who's 4.5. Miss Carly says, Lexi, I hope you come back. The kids loved you. And I just nod, because same time next week, I kind of want to. Moral of the story is always check the age group. Juice boxes are underrated, and never underestimate toddlers with paintbrushes and emotional range. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a fully grown woman at a toddler paint party, sipping juice and talking to a stuffed owl named Glitterbeak, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what event did you show up to and immediately realize, I don't belong here, but now I'm stuck? Wrong class? Wrong wedding? Wrong cult meeting? Let's finger paint our mistakes together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi, out. Okay, so this one was not my fault, unless you count poor reading comprehension and extreme enthusiasm as faults, which I do daily. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I performed emergency CPR on a rubber torso named Chad in front of trained professionals, wearing flip-flops and a bikini top. Let's rewind. I'd always wanted to try scuba diving. The ocean, fish, little floaty healings. So when I saw a flyer that said, Intro to Breathing, Pressure Control, and Survival Response, I was like, yes, that's me. Little scuba shrimp Lexi. I show up, wearing shorts, swimsuit underneath, holding goggles. I even brought a reusable water bottle filled with cucumber water because hydration is a vibe. I walk in, and immediately something feels tense. No pool, no water, no fish posters, just mannequins. Lots of mannequins on the floor with people kneeling next to them like an army of unconscious Ken torsos. I whisper to the guy next to me, is this like land scuba? He doesn't respond, just side-eyes my goggles. Then the instructor walks in and says, welcome to your final CPR evaluation. You have 5 minutes, begin. Everyone starts doing chest compressions, like aggressively, like they came to pass a test and save pretend lives. And I panic because I think, okay, maybe this is a scuba safety drill. Maybe it's part of it. Maybe I missed the email. So I pick a dummy. His little CPR name tag says Chad. And I whisper, Chad, I got you. And I start compressing too hard with flair, like I'm trying to revive him and impress the judges on Dancing with the Stars. The instructor walks past me confused, then stops and says, ma'am, where's your CPR certification card? I go, I thought this was scuba school. He blinks, then points at my goggles and says, why are you wearing those inside? I look around, everyone else, serious faces, wearing scrubs, focus mode. Me? Flip-flops, goggles, swimsuit, sweating. I say, do I at least pass as emotionally invested? They politely ask me to leave. I grab my bag, bow to Chad, and walk out with the elegance of someone who just French kissed a plastic ribcage. Moral of the story, always read the fine print, CPR gummies are not flirting, and scuba class should have water. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman dramatically performing CPR on a rubber torso named Chad while wearing a tankini and screaming, live, damn it, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what class did you accidentally show up to and just go with it? Wrong Zoom, wrong gym, wrong funeral? Let's resuscitate our regrets together, babe. Love you, mean it, Lexi, out. So here's how it started. I was craving cheese, like rich people cheese. Soft, weird, French, unpronounceable. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I ended up taste testing meatloaf sliders next to a janitor named Ron and changed the life of a 15-year-old microwave noodle prodigy. Let's begin. I'm scrolling through local events when I see Community Food Showcase. Come hungry.
I'm like, say less. I put on my cute pants, spritz perfume behind my knees like TikTok told me to, and show up, fully expecting charcuterie and Chardonnay. Instead, I walk into a high school gym. There's a giant banner that says, District 12 Home Ec Cook-Off, Battle of the Bites. There are folding tables. There's a mascot costume in the corner. There's a PTA mom handing out clipboards. I try to back out, but a teenager in a hairnet grabs my hand and goes, "Oh my God, you're the surprise guest judge." Now, in my defense, I love attention and free food. So I panic and go, "Yes, I'm Lexi, big food blogger on the internet." They sit me next to two other judges. One is Coach Dan from PE. The other is Cheryl, who teaches ceramics and thinks mayonnaise is spicy. They give me a sheet with grading categories: presentation, taste, creativity, ability to not burn down the school. First up, two girls present deconstructed nachos, which is just tortilla chips in a martini glass with sour cream foam. I give them a solid 8.5 for drama. Next kid makes meatloaf cupcakes with mashed potato frosting. I eat it, I weep, it's oddly emotional. And then a legend approaches. A quiet kid named Darius. Baseball cap, apron. He puts down a foam cup and goes, "I call it fusion street broth. It's inspired by late night hustle." It's ramen, literal instant noodles. But he added chili oil, sriracha, crushed Takis, and cilantro. I take one bite, it slaps. My tongue does a full salsa. Coach Dan whispers, "That boy's a genius." The other judges are hesitant. Ceramics Cheryl says, "I don't understand this spice." But me? I'm in tears. I write on my sheet, "This is survival cuisine. This is art. This is college trauma in a cup." When it's time to announce the winner, they hand me the mic. I say, "There were many brave dishes tonight, but only one took me on a full emotional journey through flavor, fear, and sodium." I crown Darius. The gym explodes in cheers. He fist bumps me. I ask for the recipe. He shrugs and go, "I just vibe." I leave the gym, smelling like tater tots, emotionally fulfilled. Moral of the story? Never judge a foam cup by its label. Gourmet is a state of mind, and Takis plus Noodles is Michelin in my heart. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a grown woman dramatically defending spicy ramen in a high school gym like it was a 5-star dish, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten that turned out to be amazing? School food, gas station sushi, Aunt Carol's mystery casserole? Let's flavor blast our shame together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So I love volunteering. It makes me feel like a good person without having to fully sweat. That's called balance, babe. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I accidentally became the most controversial hydration station in local marathon history. So, my friend says, "Hey, want to help out at the 10K fundraiser this Saturday?" And I'm like, "Sure. Do I have to run?" She says, "Nope, you just hand out water." And I'm like, "Yes, finally a sport I can handle." I show up. Cute little park, cheerful runners stretching, people in matching t-shirts with inspirational quotes like, "Pain is just PR in disguise." I get assigned to mile 6. Perfect, right when runners are starting to question their life choices. They tell me, "Just set up your table, pour the water, cheer people on. Easy." Here's where it gets fun. I notice a bunch of already filled cups sitting on a nearby table. Clear liquid, identical cups. Labeled "Congrats K and J." I think it's like branded wedding water. Fancy. I'm like, oh, this is great. Less work for me. So I grab them, set up my table, start handing them out like a hydration fairy. First few runners slow down, grab a cup, sip. Then I see the confusion. One woman stops dead in her tracks and yells, "That's not water." A man behind her goes, "Woo, let's go!" and throws the rest of it back like he's at Coachella. Then the chaos begins. People start laughing. One guy turns around and says, "What kind of race is this?" Another runner chugs it, does jazz hands, and screams, "I'm alive, baby!" I panic. I sip one myself. It's vodka. Like pure, fiery, straight up Russian cousin with chest hair vodka. Turns out, the night before, there was a wedding at this exact location, and someone left their celebratory shots lined up on a table under a "Cheers to Love" sign. And Lexi, your favorite well-meaning disaster, just handed them out to endurance athletes. Organizers come over. One of them yells, "Where did you get these cups?" I point and say, "Over there, under the romantic lighting and rose petals." They blink, look at each other. One just goes, "Of course it was her." Luckily, no one died. Some runners claimed it gave them a spiritual boost. One man PR'd and credited the mystery fuel. Another lady tried to propose to a tree. I got politely removed from the station, but they gave me a granola bar and said I had strong, chaotic hydration energy. Moral of the story is never assume all clear liquids are water. Wedding leftovers are booby traps, and marathons are already hard without getting tipsy mid-run. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a group of athletes sprinting, laughing, and demanding second shots during a charity race, that was my fault. Tell me in the comments, what's the worst mix-up you've ever made? Wrong drink, wrong table, wrong life choice. Let's hydrate with honesty, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. Okay, so Zoom used to be my comfort zone. Like camera off, mic muted, snack in hand, multitasking chaos kind of zone. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how a single bowl of spaghetti and a misbehaving cat ruined my professional credibility for 6 to 8 business weeks. Let's begin. It's Friday. I'm technically working from home, but spiritually already on the weekend mode. I've got a hydrating sheet mask on my face, I'm in my fluffiest robe, dinner at 4:30 like a confused grandma, eating spaghetti out of a mixing bowl, barefoot, bliss. Then my phone buzzes. Reminder, Friday marketing sync, 4:45 p.m. Crap, I totally forgot. No biggie, I'll just join, camera off, mic off. I can look engaged while being very much not engaged. It's the 2020s way. I open my laptop, still chewing a spaghetti strand like a barn animal. Click join. And the second the screen loads, camera is on. I see myself, robe slipping off one shoulder, face mask bubbling like seafoam, noodles dangling from my mouth, and my cat, Beyoncé, is climbing onto the counter trying to lick the butter dish. And I yell, full volume, "Beyoncé, get off the table, that is dairy!" And then I hear it. The horrible, echoing sound of my coworkers' laughter. Because this isn't just any meeting. This is the all-hands call. Everyone's there. Marketing, design, sales. The VP of strategy is in a turtleneck, looking emotionally betrayed. I freeze. A noodle slides off my chin. My cat knocks a fork off the counter with no remorse. Then the VP, a man who has probably never spoken above a whisper, says, "Hi, Lexi. Nice to see you." I tried to turn off the camera. Miss. Click share screen. Instead,
Now everyone sees a Spotify playlist called Cry But Make It Classy. I black out for like 3 seconds, regain consciousness, finally turn off the camera, silence. I unmute and say, "I'd like to formally resign from professionalism." They laugh, I log off. Face mask still sliding down. Later that day, my boss messages me. Legendary entrance. Also, what brand of sauce was that? I tell her, we bond. I survive, barely. Moral of the story? Always double-check the camera, never trust Zoom defaults, and name your cat something less famous if you plan to yell at them. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman mid-noodle in a robe with a face mask melting down while screaming at a diva cat during a corporate sync, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your most embarrassing Zoom moment? Was your mic on? Did you say, "I hate this job," while your boss smiled? Let's zoom into the cringe together, babe. Love you. Mean it. Lexi out.
Listen, the mall food court is my natural habitat. The smell of fried sugar, toddlers crying, that one guy aggressively giving smoothie samples, it calms me. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I accidentally starred in a public tech demo because I got too cozy in a fake leather massage chair. Let me set the scene. I'm at the mall. It's been a day. Shopping bags in both hands, feet sore, hair frizzy, brain fogged. I spot it. A beautiful, majestic, empty massage chair. Right by the escalator, no one using it, a laminated sign that says $2 for 5 minutes of relaxation. But listen, it wasn't plugged in. The card reader was taped over. I figured it's out of service equals free nap throne. So I drop into it, take off my sunglasses, close my eyes, let out the world's deepest sigh. And then the chair speaks, loudly, like entire food court turns around loudly. "Welcome to the ultimate relaxation experience." I flinch, eyes open, panic rising. The chair starts jerking me back and forth, like it's trying to shake secrets out of me. Neck roll sequence engaged. Calf squeeze mode activated. Do not exit until complete. I'm flopping, limbs bouncing. My iced coffee launches off my lap and explodes like a dairy grenade. People are watching. A group of teenagers starts filming. One guy eating chow mein yells, "Yo, she's in the deluxe setting." I try to get up. The chair clamps my legs. It's like it sensed betrayal. "You have selected extreme deep tissue." I did not select anything. It's not even gentle. It's aggressive. Like the chair is mad at me personally. It's digging into my back like it owes me money. I'm sweating, holding onto the sides, trying to mouth, "I don't know how to stop it," to a woman nearby who just nods and walks away. After what feels like 30 years, it finally powers down. "Thank you for relaxing. Please come again." I'm dazed. Hair sideways, mascara running, shoe missing, earring gone. A kid walks up and says, "Lady, you okay?" I whisper, "Never better." Then I wobble off into the Sbarro sunset. Moral of the story? Don't nap in mystery chairs. Demo mode is not your friend. And if it clamps your calves, you better say goodbye to dignity. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman getting full body rattled by a malfunctioning massage chair while screaming silently into a Cinnabon, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what public place betrayed you when you just wanted peace? Plane seat? Hotel bed? Porta potty? Let's vibrate through our trauma together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. Let's talk about how quickly a chill snack break can become an unexpected family reunion with people you've never met. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I accidentally joined another woman's FaceTime call, introduced myself to her mom, grandma, and dentist aunt, all while eating curly fries and sitting alone like a potato gremlin. Here we go. So I'm at the mall. Again. The mall and I are emotionally entangled. I'm in the food court. I've got my tray, curly fries, Diet Coke, good vibes. I sit down, pull out my phone, start scrolling. Now, important detail. I had just gotten a new phone case. Clear, sparkly, very basic. Apparently, the exact same case as half the teenage population of Earth. Next to me, there's an empty seat with another tray. Some girl must have gone to grab napkins or something. Her phone, sitting right there. Same model, same glitter case, same everything. Then, buzz buzz, I see it light up. Mom, eyes, lipstick, pink heart, is calling. I assume it's mine. I mean, what are the odds? So I answer. Big mistake. Suddenly, I'm face to time with a very intense woman in her mid-50s who says, "Emily, what kind of angle is this? Are you okay? You look pale." I freeze. Half a curly fry mid-air. Cheese sauce on my thumb. I say, "Hi, I'm not Emily." The mom squints. "What do you mean you're not Emily? Where is Emily?" And then she turns the phone around. There are 3 more people on this call. A grandma, a sister, and a man I think is a dentist because he's wearing scrubs and holding a molar. They all stare at me like I've just hijacked their daughter. I panic. Say the only thing that makes sense. "I was just eating fries and your phone rang. I thought it was mine, but I'm not Emily. I'm Lexi. I like your sweater." Long silence. Then the grandma says, "She has kind eyes. I like her." The sister snorts. The dentist shrugs. The mom goes, "Okay, Lexi, where is Emily's phone?" I look down, realize my phone is still in my bag. I've picked up a stranger's phone. I'm holding it, talking to her mom on a full FaceTime in public, covered in curly fry grease. Then the real Emily appears, teenager, looks at me, looks at her phone, looks at the call still open and goes, "Oh my God, stop FaceTiming people." I hand it to her like it's a cursed object. She walks off without another word. I sit there stunned. A kid at the next table whispers, "That was so weird but kind of iconic." Moral of the story? Don't trust glitter phone cases. Always double check before answering mom. And FaceTiming mid-fry is a dangerous game. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever saw a grown woman introducing herself to a stranger's mother over FaceTime while casually dipping fries in cheese sauce, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the most awkward tech mix-up you've ever had? Texted the wrong person, answered the wrong call, sent a selfie to your boss? Let's share our shame like data plans, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi, out. So, I consider myself sun smart. I've had one bad sunburn in college, and I swore I'd never let that happen again. I moisturize, I reapply, I wear a hat so wide it could interfere with satellite signals. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I became human poultry in under 90 minutes. Let's begin. So, my friends and I plan a beach day. Sunshine, snacks, a cooler filled with canned sparkling things. I pack my bag like a responsible adult. SPF 50, spray and lotion because I'm that girl. Oversized sunglasses, 2 towels, 1 floaty shaped like a duck that no one asked for. We claim a spot, set up our umbrellas. I lay out, apply sunscreen like a full-body crime scene tape-off, even do the little tops of ears, okay? Feeling proud. Safe. Sun-kissed. Not sun-slept. Then I nap. Just a tiny little snooze. Like 45 minutes, tops. What I don't notice? The umbrella shifted. The wind moved it just enough so that one leg, one lonely thigh, is fully exposed. I wake up, feel a little warm. Think, oh, cute, vitamin D, right? Wrong. Fast forward to that night, we're at dinner. My leg starts to sizzle, like it's made of regret. I go to the bathroom, pull up my dress, and scream. My leg is bright, raging, fire truck red, in exactly the shape of a chicken drumstick. I'm talking curved at the top, skinny around the ankle, and even a weird lighter patch that looks like the bone. It's so oddly specific, I take a photo. My friends see it. They lose their minds. At dinner, I sit with my leg crossed, trying to hide the glow, but a toddler, 2 tables over, sees it, points, and yells, "Mommy, look, chicken leg!" I have never wanted to disappear into a breadstick more. Over the next few days, the burn peels. I moisturize like my life depends on it. I consider tattooing "Do Not Disturb" exposed leg on my kneecap. Moral of the story? Shade moves. Sunscreen isn't magic. And once your thigh gets compared to poultry by a 4-year-old, you'll never emotionally recover. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever saw a woman limping through a resort lobby, dragging her beach bag with one leg looking like it belongs in a 12-piece bucket, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your worst sunburn fail? Strange tan lines? Missed spots? SPF 5 lies? Let's peel through the pain together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. So I was on vacation, the kind where you swear you'll relax and then overschedule yourself into oblivion. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I went from beach goddess to wet chaos gremlin in under 6 minutes. Let's dive in. It's day 3 of my trip. I'm staying at this cute resort with a giant pool. I wake up early, read 9:47 a.m., toss on my bikini, grab a pool towel, and think, today's the day I float like a hot croissant and achieve peace. I get down to the pool. It's already kind of crowded, but I see a section that's mostly ladies bobbing in the water. They're all smiling, chatting, gentle music playing, very Golden Girls Go to Cabo energy. I ease in, start stretching, smile at the woman next to me. She nods, says, "First time?" I'm like, "Yeah, trying to loosen up." Big mistake. Because 2 seconds later, a voice on a speaker shouts, "All right, ladies, jogging in place, let's go." I blink. The women around me all start jogging in the water, like a very enthusiastic synchronized wave of grandmothers. I look at the edge of the pool. There's a woman with a visor and a whistle, yelling, encouraging, possibly judging my posture. I try to back out, but no. Margaret, the woman next to me, grabs my arm and says, "You're in this now, sweetie." I panic, try to do what they're doing, but apparently I'm too aggressive because I splash, like a lot. Margaret gets a face full of water and goes, "Watch the lift, Lexi." Wait, how does she know my name? Did I sign a release form? Then come the pool noodles. Suddenly, everyone has one. They're doing noodle resistance moves, and I, without a noodle, look like a wet, unprepared contestant on a game show. A woman on my other side, Gladys, tosses me one. She says, "Tuck it under your arms. Now push like you're mad at your husband." I push. I slip. I splash Margaret again. Margaret snaps her noodle in half. Meanwhile, the instructor is yelling things like, "Shoulders back, ladies! We didn't come here to float, we came to sweat." Girl, what? I get through 25 minutes of kicking, lunging, and near drowning. By the end, I'm breathless, my bikini top has shifted, and Margaret mutters, "You'll get better. Maybe." I wobble out of the pool. The instructor hands me a flyer and says, "Beginner class is Thursday." I whisper, "I was just trying to stretch." Moral of the story? Never assume a pool is just a pool. Grandmas can be shredded, and water aerobics is not for the emotionally weak. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a soaking wet 30-year-old getting publicly coached by an angry retiree named Margaret, that was me. Tell me in the comments, have you ever been pulled into the wrong class, event, or cult-like aquatic group? Let's noodle through our pain together, babe. Love ya, mean it, Lexi out.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you ever start your day thinking, "I'm gonna be productive today," just don't say it out loud. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to romanticize my work life and instead baptized my laptop in oat milk. Let's begin. It's a sunny Thursday. I wake up feeling motivated. I put on a blazer for no reason. Hair is in a messy bun that took 40 minutes. I walk to my favorite cafe. You know the kind. Twinkly lights, plants everywhere, baristas who look like they model for coffee bean ads. I order oat milk latte, extra foam, in a real mug, please. Because I'm classy. I pick the perfect table, window seat, right amount of sun, ambient jazz. I open my laptop, pop in my AirPods, take one glorious sip and think, this is who I am now. I'm thriving, I'm unstoppable. Foreshadowing. Cut to, I'm typing away, fully in the zone. Then I go to reach for my latte, but I'm also reaching to scroll, and my elbow decides to betray me. Whack! The mug flips like it's in an Olympic diving event. The entire latte, foam and all, cascades like a slow-motion horror film directly onto my laptop. Instant chaos. My screen flashes, the keyboard makes a crackling sound like it's sizzling with regret. And what do? Do I calmly unplug it? Turn it upside down like a normal adult? Nope. I start blowing on it like a birthday cake from hell. No, 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 no. I grab a stack of napkins, start patting it like I'm apologizing to it. I even try dabbing it with my scarf. The guy at the next table looks over, horrified. He goes, "You might want to unplug it." I say, "I might want to cry." He nods like he's seen war. The barista rushes over, hands me rice, like a full bag of dry rice. I don't know where it came from. I'm too caffeinated to ask questions. I cradle my latte-drenched laptop, shove it in the rice like I'm giving it a burial, and whisper, "May Steve Jobs bless this mess." 2 days later, the laptop turns back on, but the E key doesn't work anymore unless I press it like I'm angry. Every sentence sounds like it's yelling. Moral of the story, oat milk is a silent assassin. Elbows are dangerous, and trying to look productive in public is a trap. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever saw a woman frantically stuffing her MacBook into a bag of rice while whispering, "You were too young," that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the most expensive mistake you made before 10 a.m.? We can cry over spilled lattes together, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So here's something I don't say enough. Dressing rooms are haunted. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to try on one dress and ended up doing a full-blown military crawl across a fitting room floor in heels. Let's begin. It's a Tuesday. I'm walking through the mall after a smoothie-fueled high. I pass a department store window, and there it is, a red dress. Fitted, slit on the side, giving hot salsa CEO energy. I walk in, ask the sales associate, "Do you have this in a medium?" She hands me one without making eye contact. Always a bad omen. I strut to the changing room. It's one of those cursed stalls with bad lighting and a 3-angle mirror that shows you what your knees look like from behind. Terrifying. I take off my clothes. Slide into the dress. Get it to my waist. A little tight. Okay, fine. Very tight. But I believe in myself. I yank it up. It compresses me like a panini. I reach for the zipper. It stops halfway. I pull harder. Nothing. I wiggle. It moves 1 millimeter and then locks. Suddenly, my arms are trapped. I can't lift them. I'm halfway zipped, halfway raw panic. My back is sweating. I try to bend, squat, wriggle, everything short of summoning help from the spirits of Fashion Week. Then I realize I left my phone in my purse, which is outside the room. I am alone with this demon dress. I peek under the curtain, contemplating calling for help. That's when I lock eyes with a toddler. He's holding a pretzel. He is silently judging me. I whisper, "Go get someone." He takes a bite and walks away. Betrayal! 10 minutes pass. I'm sweating through my soul. I try to reverse the dress. Nope. I finally decide I have to get out. So I get on the ground and crawl under the curtain, still inside the dress, arms pinned like a cursed mermaid gasping for freedom. A woman sees me and screams. The sales associate comes running, yells, "Ma'am?" I yell back, "I'm stuck and I'm sorry." They unzip me, very slowly, like I'm defusing a bomb made of spandex. Once free, I stand up, red-faced, makeup smudged, and say, "I'll be purchasing a scarf instead." Moral of the story? Don't try on tight dresses alone, don't trust zippers, and never make eye contact with a toddler when you're panicking. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a grown woman doing an emotional limbo under a dressing room curtain in a bodycon trap, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your worst changing room disaster? Weird lighting, stuck sleeve, emotional damage? Let's unzip our trauma together, babe. Love you, mean it, Lexi out.
Okay, look, I don't drink to get drunk. I drink to feel like a mysterious woman in a spy movie with a dramatic drink and a secret. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to look cool with a cocktail and instead nearly lit an entire rooftop bar on fire. Let's go. So, it's Saturday night, girls' night. We get all dressed up. I'm wearing a bold red lip and earrings so heavy I can hear my heartbeat in my ears. We hit this super bougie rooftop bar. Skyline views, ambient music, menus printed on recycled leather or whatever. The waiter comes over and says, "Would you like to see our signature cocktails?" Yes, absolutely. I want something classy, powerful, liquid confidence. I see one called the Phoenix. It says, "with fire presentation," and I think, ooh, I am rebirth. I am mystery. I am tequila. I order it. 10 minutes later, the bartender brings it over and I kid you not, sets it on fire. Not like a little flame, like full glowing blue flame across the top. It looks like a potion you'd drink in a video game to gain fire resistance. And I panic because I didn't know it was still actively on fire and my brain goes, "Fire? Blow it out. That's what we do. That's the rule." So I lean in, make full eye contact with the flame, and blow. Big mistake. The flame does not go out. The flame expands, like I just gave it oxygen and encouragement. The alcohol splashes, the fire leaps,
straight into the table napkins. We're talking fire combustion, mini inferno, friends screaming. I start flailing with a cocktail menu. My friend Mia throws a glass of water. The guy at the next table just goes, sick. Finally, a server rushes over, throws something on it, puts it out, looks at me and says, "You're not supposed to blow it. That's the point." Well, I didn't know I ordered a liquid fireball with rules, Chad. Meanwhile, I check my reflection in my phone screen. My left eyelash is singed. A little curlier than it was 5 minutes ago. I look like I made out with a candle. And the worst part? I still drink the cocktail. It tasted like citrus and shame. Moral of the story, don't order things you can't pronounce or extinguish. Always ask if it comes with a spark. And fire is not a vibe, it's a warning. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a girl with one eyebrow slightly higher than the other, sipping a smoky drink and fanning herself with a burnt coaster, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your most chaotic, I was just trying to look cool moment? Did you fall? Spill? Accidentally light something? Let's burn our pride together, babe. Love you, mean it, Lexi out.
So, first of all, I blame Pinterest, because every summer date outfit inspo post told me that nothing says effortless beauty like a long, fluttery scarf. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I almost got exercised by my own accessories on what should have been a sweet little scooter date. Let's get into it. So, I matched with this guy. Tall, smiley, said things like, "I know a cool place." Immediately suspicious, but okay. He invites me out, says we'll grab coffee and scoot around the city. I think cute, casual, low-key romantic montage energy. So I put together an outfit. High-waisted jeans, flowy white top, and the pièce de résistance, a long, silky scarf I thrifted for $4 and believed gave me elegant mystery energy. We meet up. He's got one of those shared scooters, big enough for 2 people if you're brave and have questionable judgment. He says, "You ride in the back. Just hold on tight." I'm like, "Say less." I hop on. We're scooting. It's cute. My scarf is flowing. I feel like a music video. Until I feel a tug. Not from the guy, from the back wheel. I glance down. My scarf is slowly disappearing into the spinning rubber vortex of death. I try to pull it back, but the scooter's going faster, and the scarf is now wrapped like spaghetti around the axle. I gasp. The guy says, "You okay?" And I say, "Yes, but I might be about to die stylishly." Then I feel it yank hard, like the scarf is trying to take me with it. My neck jerks back, I slam into him like a human backpack, and let out a noise that can only be described as feral opera. He pulls over in a panic. I fall off the scooter like a tangled fashion ghost. We both have to sit on the sidewalk and unravel the scarf from the wheel. It takes 5 minutes, 3 apologies, and 1 stranger who walks by and goes, "See, that's why I don't accessorize." Rude, but not wrong. The scarf? Destroyed, shredded, retired with honors. The date? Surprisingly chill. He laughed, helped me up, and said, "You're the most dramatic woman I've ever met, and I like that." Moral of the story, scarves are dangerous, scooters have no mercy, and flirting while choking is not cute. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman slowly being pulled backwards off a scooter by a thrifted piece of fabric and the hand of fate, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the most chaotic thing that's happened while you were trying to be cute? Hair? Heels? Wind betrayal? Let's unravel our shame together, babe. Love you. Mean it. Lexi, out.